A death sentence is a serious, final decision reserved for the most heinous offenses. In Eddings v. Oklahoma, we'll explore the extent that aggravating and mitigating factors must be considered when deciding whether to impose this sentence. Monty Eddings, a 16-year-old youth, took his father's guns and ran away from home with some friends. After losing control of his brother's car while driving, Eddings was pulled over by a police officer. As the officer approached, Eddings shot and killed the officer through the car's window. Eddings was charged as an adult with first-degree murder in the Oklahoma District Court of Creek County. Without admitting guilt, Eddings pleaded guilty in a nolo contendere plea and was subsequently found guilty by the court. In a separate sentencing hearing, the court had to decide whether to impose the death penalty or life in prison. To make this determination, the parties could present evidence of 7 specified aggravating factors and any mitigating circumstances. The state presented evidence of 3 aggravating factors, namely the heinous nature of the murder, that it was done to avoid lawful arrest, and that Eddings would likely be a threat to society. Eddings presented substantial evidence of his violent upbringing as a mitigating factor. Expert testimony also presented evidence that Eddings was emotionally disturbed. Experts posited that at the time Eddings committed the crime, his mental and emotional development was several years below his actual age, and that he had a sociopathic or antisocial personality, but he could be rehabilitated with intensive therapy. Although the judge found that the state proved the aggravating factors, he decided that, as a matter of law, he couldn't consider Eddings' violent upbringing and emotional disturbance as mitigating factors. The only mitigating factor the judge considered was Eddings' age. As a result, the judge sentenced Eddings to death. Eddings appealed to the Oklahoma Court of Criminal Appeals, which affirmed his sentence, reasoning that only mitigating evidence that could excuse Eddings' criminal responsibility could be considered. Eddings appealed to the United States Supreme Court.